Yeah. So, so in the 11th chapter, Lord revealed the universal form upon the request of Arjuna. First of all, Arjuna requested Lord, oh Lord, I want to see your universal form, how you control everything. So Lord revealed his form. But before revealing, first of all, he gave Arjuna the eyes to see that form. So he gave the divine vision, and Arjuna is able to witness the form, and Lord revealed his universal form in that form. It is extremely fearful. It's stunning form. There he saw all the soldiers from both sides entering the mouths of Lord and dying. It was the entire creation, and destruction is being displayed. So Arjuna requested him to show his two-handed form again. So Lord again showed back the original two-handed form. Yeah, and inspired by Arjuna, Krishna, Arjuna said he will become an instrument in the hand of Lord in this great fight of Kurukshetra. So that was 11th chapter. Yeah. So in the 12th chapter, Arjuna again wants to hear about devotion service in this chapter. He wanted to hear more about devotion service, how devotion service is compared to other paths of achieving perfection. Right? So why he does that? So that people of this world will understand what is it is, Arjuna clarifying his position as actually I'm a devotee. I'm not like a jnani or yogi. I want to work for Krishna. Devotee means one who serves Krishna. Right? And also, a devotee is attached to the personal form of the Lord. Right? He likes to see the form and serve the form of the Lord. So, and in this chapter, we'll see how personal form is superior to unmanifested Brahman. Right? A lot of people say God has no form. It's called they are called impersonalists. Devotees are personalists. Personalist means they like the personal form of the Lord. They want to serve the personal form of the Lord. They want to feed, decorate, dress, serve the personal form of the Lord. But the impersonalists, their understanding is God doesn't have a form. God is impersonal. His Shakti is called Brahman, Para-Brahman, and they don't worship the form of the Lord. Right? They don't give value to the form of the Lord. They may sometimes accept, but they accept that as form is inferior to the impersonal form. So that is the nature of impersonalists. So here in this chapter there are 3 sections, 12.1 to 7, where there is a discussion about how bhakti is better than impersonalism. Impersonalism means where there is no, but impersonalism means where there is no worship of the personality of God. So let's read the verses Bhagavad Gita related to this. Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna Uvacha
Evam Satata Yukta Ye
Evam Satata Yukta
Bhaktastvam Paryupasate
Bhaktasthavam Prayapsate
Chapi Aksharam Avyaktam
Vichate Aksharam Avyaktam
Visham Ke Yoga Vittama.
Yoga Loka Vittama.
Yeah, please read.
Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested?
Hmm. So bhaktastvam parvipasate means the devotees who worship you are yechapi aksharam avyaktam. Avyaktam means those who worship the impersonal Brahman. So if you all remember, previously we discussed about God has three forms, right? The first form is where, the original, the Bhagavan form. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan. Three forms. Bhagavan is like, the sun god, for example. The sun is there. If sun is like Bhagavan, right? Understanding the personality that exists in sun. Sun is a planet, and Vivaswan is the personality who is present within sun. So one who understands this personality as the head of the sun planet, that is like Bhagavan realization. Next level is Paramatma relation. Paramatma relation is where uh, the jiva understands that actually, let me start like this, right? For example, there is sunlight. Sunlight. Sunlight is spread everywhere. If you open the door and see, you can say, hey, there is, just by seeing the light, you can say there is sun, correct? Brahman realization is like that. Brahman realization means God's presence everywhere. God energy is moving everything. Understanding that God is the source of everything in this existence, and He is He's everywhere. Sat feature of the Lord, right? So that is like Brahman relation. Brahman relation is like realizing the existence of the Supreme Lord everywhere in the existence, right? That is Brahman. Just like you see outside the door, you see there is some light. Now you understand there is actually sun, right? Just by seeing light, you can tell there is sun. So that is the basic level of understanding of God. That is similar to Brahman realization. Next level is, hey, how is this light coming? This light must be coming from some source. Then pointing to actually, hey, look at that sun, that bulb in the sky. That is the source of all the heat and light. If one understands like that, actually this light is sourced in that light from, which is fixed in the sky. If one understands actually the sun is the source of all of this, that is like Paramatma relation. Paramatma relation means, of course, God is everywhere, but actually He is there. God is the source of all energy. He is there in my heart as Paramatma, and He is the one who is controlling everything within my body. He is the one who is controlling the universe, right? Recognizing the source of energy is Paramatma realization. Just like recognizing the source of sunlight as the sun planet, right? Sun planet is the source of sunlight. When one recognizes that, that is like Paramatma relation. Above that is when actually one understands actually this Paramatma is like a father. He is lovable personality, and he is, uh, I can serve him. I can be with him. So when one understands the personal aspect of that God, that source of energy, that is Bhagavan relation. That is bhakti. Bhakti means actually understanding God as a loving personality whom we can serve and please. That is the difference between all the three parts. Brahman relation is the lowest. Only accepting God's existence everywhere, right? That is lowest, avyaktam. Many people think that is the highest, unfortunately. For example, Swami Vivekananda, they think impersonal Brahman is the highest. Most people are like that. They don't accept personal form. They don't come to understanding that actually you can serve the God, right? So that is actually lowest form of self-realization. As you can see, it is also very difficult, correct? Can you focus your mind on impersonal Lord, who you cannot even see, you cannot touch, you cannot talk to, you cannot express your prayers? It's very difficult. So that's why this, this aksharam or avyaktam is very difficult to practice. So we find in this chapter that of all of the different process for revelation of the absolute, Bhakti Yoga, the devotion service, is the highest. If one at all desires to have the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he must take to devotion service. Those who worship the Supreme Personality directly by devotion service are called personless. Person, because you are worshipping a person. Those who engage themselves in the meditation on the impersonal Brahman are called impersonalists, because you are worshipping or meditating on God by accepting that God doesn't have a form, right? It's very tough. People think that is highest. Unfortunately, that is wrong. So Arjuna's question is, what is better? Let's hear from Krishna himself directly. What is the right thing about the existence of God? Because at that time also it seems, even though God was directly there, there are people who are not worshipping the form of the Lord. Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Maya Vesha Manoye Mam.
Maya Vesya Manoye
Upasate.
Yayukta Upasate
Shraddhaya Parayopetas.
Tattaya Parayopetas
Yukta Tamamata.
Teme Yukta Tamam.
Please read.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect.
Those who fix my, see, Maya Vesha Manoyemam. Mano means mind. Maya Vesha means one who fixes his mind upon me. Nitya Yukta Upasate. Upasate means praying, worshipping. Nitya Yukta means always worshipping me. With what? Shraddhaya. With Shraddha, Bhakti, with faith. So clearly Krishna says, those who fix their mind on my personal form. Personal form means Krishna in his Tribhanga form, like this. And are always engaged in worshipping me, Nitya Yukta, Upasate, with great and transcendental faith, Shraddhaya, are considered by me to be the most perfect. Yukta Tama. Yukta Tama means most perfect in yoga. Yeah. So Krishna considers the devotee to be the highest, very clearly. No doubts about it. Yetva aksharam anirdesyam.
Aksharam Anirdesham.
Avyaktam paryupasate.
Avyaktam Paryupasate.
Upasate
Tragam achincham cha.
Sarvakam Achintyam Cha
Tastham achalam dhruvam.
Utastharam Taham Chilam Dhavam
Sanyamyendriya gramam.
Sanniyam
Sarvatra Samabuddhaya
Sarvatra Samabuddhaya
Te Prapnuvanti Mam Eva
Te Prapnam Eva
Sarvabhuta Hite Rata.
Sarvabhuta Hite Rata.
Please read.
But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all that last achieve me.
See
At
the
last achieve me.
at last. At last means very slowly. It's not the best thing. First Krishna clarified. What did he say? Those who Nitya Yukta Upasate, those who worship me constantly, I consider them the best, perfect. Those who practice devotion service. So 12th chapter clearly clarifies bhakti is superior to all the other processes. But what about the unmanifested, those who worship on Brahman, which lies beyond the perception of senses, right? The all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed, immovable, impersonal conception of absolute truth. So if you worship that, you won't achieve the highest benefit. You won't achieve the, you would reach me, you would achieve me, but it's very difficult. The process is very difficult. So it may take some lifetimes. And ultimately, if you are sincere, you will achieve me. But as you can see, Krishna himself personally says, that's not the recommended process. I don't recommend that process. So even in 6th chapter at the end, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, that verse if you remember, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, Bahunam Janmanam. So Bahunam Janmanam Ante. Jnanavamam prapadyate Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. Bahunam janmanam ante. After many births, the Jnanavans. Jnanavans means people who are worshipping the impersonal form, just like we are described. After many births, he who is actually in knowledge, surrender to me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is, such a great soul is very rare. Jnanavan mam prapadyate. Jnanavan means one who is full of knowledge. But a devotee directly approaches without waiting for that, right? Why to waste so many lifetimes? Yeah. Those who do not directly worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but who attempt to achieve the same goal by an indirect process, also ultimately achieve the same goal. Sri Krishna. After many births, the man of wisdom seeks refuge in me, knowing that Vasudeva is all. When a person comes to full knowledge after many births, he surrenders unto Lord Krishna. If one approaches the Godhead by the method mentioned in this verse, he has to control the senses, render service to everyone, and engage in the welfare of all the beings. It is inferred that one has to approach Lord Krishna, otherwise there is no perfect realization. Often there is much penance involved before one fully surrenders unto him. It's not easy. Yeah. Now further Krishna clarifies why it is difficult. Kleshodikara tarastesham avyakta shakta chetasam
Avyaktam Chetasham
avyakta hi gatir dukham
अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम्
देहवाद्भिर् अवाप्यते
देहवाद्भिरवाप्यते
देहवाद्भिर् अवाप्यते. So what klesho means very difficult, challenge, troubles. Klesho adhikatarastesham. Adhika means high, very large, right? Lot of trouble. For who? Avyakta Shakta Chetasam. Avyakta Ashakta. Avyakta Asakta. Avyakta Ashakta means Avyakta means unmanifested. God has this impersonal form, just like sun has sunlight. God has this Brahman effulgence that comes from him. But if one thinks that Brahman is the God, not the personality, there is a source for Brahman, he doesn't consider the Bhagavan as the the highest truth, and considers the light emanating from Lord, which is called Brahman, as the highest truth. If a person is attached to the light coming from Lord, right, which is called Brahma Jyoti or Brahman, Avyakta Asakta Chetasam, if he is attached to it, for him it's very difficult. That's what Klesho Adhikatarasta Tesham means. It's very difficult to achieve the perfection. Right? Avyakta hi gatir dukkham. Dukkham means very troublesome, very sad. It will make one very sad. Dehavadbhe avapyate. For who? For the embodied. Embodied means a person who has a body. You have a body, I have a body. We have a body. When you have a body, it's very difficult to perceive impersonal Brahman, Brahma Jyoti. God without understanding or worshipping the Lord without any form. It's very tough because you have a body, you can worship forms, right? Your eyes can see it, you can cook, you can offer, you can worship, you can pray. All those things are possible because there is a form of the Lord. If not, form is not there, if I tell you, don't come to temple, just worship in your mind and don't think about form of the Lord because God doesn't have form. If I tell you that, do you think you can worship Lord? Can you worship? Can you focus your mind and please Lord? Do you think you can make progress like that?
No, Prabhuji.
Yeah, it's very tough. Yeah, so that's why it's not recommended, right? Most people, and it is also not the highest. Impersonal worship is not the highest. To make progress in this discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. But unfortunately, there are so-called people called Jnana Yogis, and they try to worship this impersonal Brahman. They want to achieve perfection by practicing, focusing their mind on the Brahman. And it is not easy because it's not, first of all, easy to keep such a form in the mind, right? Fix the mind. It's very tough. Worship of the deity in the temple is Saguna worship.
No.
For the Lord is represented by material quality. But the form of Lord, though represented by material qualities such as stone, wood, or oil paint, is not actually material. That is the absolute nature of the Supreme Lord. Yeah, so nice explanation of this given here. Yeah. Yetu sarvani karmani
Sarvani karmani
mayi sanyasya matpara
mayi sanyasya matpara
ananyenaiva yogena
Ananyenaiva yogena
mam Mam dhyayanta upasate
Mam dhyayanta upasate.
tesham aham samudharta
Tesham aham samudhata.
mrityu samsara sagarat
Mrityu samsara sagara.
bhavamina chirat pardha
Bhavani namaskarat patha.
maya veshita chetasam.
Maya sita chetasam.
Please read.
But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me. O son of Partha, for them I am this swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death.
See the words used. Achi na bhavami achira pardha. Achira means very short, in very short time. Achira. Right? Maya veshta chetasam. Krishna personally helps those who worship him. Right? Those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotion service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me. For them, I am the swift deliverer, quick deliverer. Within short time, I will deliver them. From where? From the ocean of birth and death. Right? I will take care of them. So this is the assurance of Lord. If you look at the previous verse, he says, at last they will achieve. Those who are attached to impersonal form, those who don't worship the personal form of the Lord, for them I will give. It's very troublesome, it's not easy, and to progress is difficult for the embodied, and they may achieve at the end the highest perfection. But for those who are engaged in bhakti, whose mind is always on me, fixed their mind upon me, I am personally going to deliver them. I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Who can give more better assurance than God himself directly like this? So that is the greatness of Lord.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Matas.
meditating means either chanting or listening or service.
Meditating means it's not like sitting silently and thinking about Lord. Meditating means how you can cook for God, how you can please the Lord, how you can chant the holy name with mind like that. So always thinking about Lord. That's what
any form.
in any form. Keeping it could be service of Lord, it could be cooking, it could be anything. Or it could be direct prayer to the Lord. See clearly, this verse 100% clearly clarifies that in the opinion of Krishna, those who worship Krishna directly, again Krishna says, my, you see, my means me, Mam, me. By those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, being devoted to me without deviation, and always meditate upon me, fixed their minds upon me. How many me's are there? So Krishna is clarifying, I am the Supreme Lord. By worshipping me, you get the highest. I am the swift deliverer. I personally take care of you coming from this ocean of birth and death to me. I will take care of you. Who can give more assurance than God like that? You see, that is why we should, those who don't study Bhagavad Gita, what do they understand about God's mercy, right? Because we are studying Bhagavad Gita, we understand here. What is the desire of Lord? Right? What is in the heart of Lord? Actually, Lord wants us to perform bhakti. It's not just we are performing bhakti, it is also the desire of Lord that we engage and swiftly get delivered. Because other paths are slow and they take time. Right? Yeah. As stated before, the Supreme Lord can be appreciated only by devotion service. Therefore, one should be fully devoted. One should fix his mind fully on Krishna. One should work only for Krishna. It does not matter in what kind of work one engages, but that work should be done only for Krishna. That is the standard of devotion service. The devotee does not desire any achievement other than pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His life's mission is to please Krishna, and he can sacrifice everything for Krishna's satisfaction, just as Arjuna did in the battle of Kurukshetra. The process is simple. One can devote himself in his occupation and engage at the same time in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Such transcendental chanting attracts the devotee to the personality of Godhead. So Lord herein promises that without delay he will deliver a pure devotee, thus engaged from the ocean of material existence. Those who are advanced in yoga practice can willfully transfer the soul to whatever planet they like by the yoga process, and the others take the opportunity in various ways. But as far as the devotee is concerned, it is clearly stated here that Lord himself takes care of him. This is the key. The devotee does not need to wait to become very experienced in order to transfer himself to the spiritual sky. In all the other paths, the person tries by himself to achieve perfection, to transfer himself to the planet. But in bhakti, you don't need to worry. Lord himself.
Hello,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes.
My network is very bad today.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. So that is the difference between bhakti and other paths. Lord himself promises. When Lord promises, you can understand the importance of bhakti. He is the swift deliverer for the devotee. Right? Devotee doesn't need to worry. He just need to continue practicing bhakti sincerely, and Lord will take care of delivering him. So many references, right? Towards the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya
Sarva Dharmam
Amekam sharanam vraja
Mam
Sharanam Raja
Vraja
Sarva papebhyo
Aham
Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo
mokshayishyami masucha.
Mokshichyami Masucha.
One should give up all other forms of self-relation and simply execute the Krishna consciousness. That will enable one to reach the highest perfection.
Highest perfection of life.
There is no need for user a simple reaction
Actions
because the Supreme Lord fully takes charge of him.
of him.
Yeah. So this is the bhakti is the highest path. Okay. So that's what this first section is all about. We covered 7 verses. Krishna is clarifying how bhakti compares to other paths. There is Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. It is very difficult for the embodied jiva, one who has body, to actually focus their mind on the impersonal God. As far as personal God is considered, it's very easy to focus, and Lord is the swift deliverer, and one can achieve perfection very easily because the practice is easy. You can worship, you can see, you can pray, you can cook, you can do everything. Okay? So it's easy. So that's what this particular first section covers. So we'll end the class here. Unless if you have a question, we can discuss. If you have any questions, we can discuss.
Yeah, Prabhuji, when we are chanting, we have to use mala, or without mala we can chant?
It is better to use mala because your mind becomes focused, and you can do some regulated rounds. You can do every day, like few rounds, right? One round 108 times. You can do multiple such times, right?
Yeah.
Don't have beats, then it's very difficult for mind to focus on chanting, and you don't know how many rounds you chanted, how many mantras you chanted. So people do like 1 round, 2 rounds, or 4 rounds, like that, or 8 rounds, 12 rounds, 16 rounds. So one time 108 beats is 1 round. Like that, you can chant how many ever you are comfortable in the beginning, and slowly increase as much as it permits. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Any other questions? Okay, so we'll end the class here. Yeah.
One question.
Yeah. This much.
Usually we'll have habit of from childhood following rituals like doing Deeparadhana.
Yeah.
That we need to follow, or if you do chanting is or
Yeah, if you are Deeparadhana, even we do at my home. When I went to India, we were doing, even every day we do Deeparadhana, quick, like we do offer Arati. Yeah, that is perfectly all right. Every day keeping a lamp of light before Lord is very auspicious.
yeah, that you do after chanting or before chanting, Prabhu?
So
Timings?
we do actually after chanting, because my chanting starts at 4:30, and at 6:15 I start that.
Hello.
Into 6:30 we do, Mangala Arati we do every day at home. So as part of that we do that. So we do a simple Mangala Arati. We use incense. We offer Hare Krishna. Yeah. 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 I hope it's clear, right, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, we'll end the call here. My network is not good, and we covered the verses that we planned.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were out today, so we'll cover next time more. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.